So we are starting chapter 5.5, which is solving radical equations. The process: 1. Isolate the radicals. 2. Raise both sides to the power of the root. What this does is, if we have the square root of u and square it is equal to u, or we have the cube root of 13x and raise it to the power 3, it becomes 13x and the radical disappears. Step 3, rewrite as exponents, and step 4, solve and check. So several examples. The square root of x is equal to 8. So if we raise both sides to the power 2, because the square root is the root 2, so we raise both sides to the power 2, we get x is equal to 64. And you can check it. The square root of 64 is equal to 8, so 8 is equal to 8. X plus 3 minus 9 is equal to 0. So add 9 to both sides. Let's use a different color for this to solve it. Add 9, add 9. We get the square root of x plus 3 is equal to 9. Then you want to go ahead and square both sides. So x plus 3 is equal to 81. And then take away 3 from both sides. So x is equal to 78. Check. Square root of 78 plus 3 minus 9 is equal to 0. So square root of 81 minus 9 is equal to 0. So 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. Square root of x plus 5 is equal to 2. Take away 5 from both sides. We get square root of x is equal to negative 3. Now remember that the square root of a number, cannot be the square root of any number cannot be a negative number, so this has no solution. No solution. Okay. FYI, if we were to go ahead and try to solve it, since a square root cannot equal a negative number. Okay, and emphasis here on square root. The cube root of x is equal to negative 4, so this is an odd root. So we can definitely take the cube root of x and get a negative number. So we would follow the process here. Raise both sides to the power 3 since this is a cube root. So x is equal to negative 64. Okay? Negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 is negative 64. So you want to go ahead and check this. Cube root of negative 64 is equal to negative 4. So negative 4 is equal to negative 4, which is good. Square root of 10 minus x plus x is equal to 8. So we want to work on isolating the radical. So this gives square root of 10 minus x is equal to 8 minus x. Then you want to go ahead and square both sides. Go ahead and square both sides. That means the radical disappears here. This is 10 minus x. And then we have 8 minus x times 8 minus x. So we would need to FOIL that out. So first, 8 8s is 64. Outside, negative 8x. Inside, negative 8x. And last, positive x squared. So 10 minus x is equal to 64 minus 16 x plus x squared. So first I'm going to go ahead and add x to both sides. This gives me 10 is equal to 64 minus 15x plus x squared. Then I'm going to take away 10 from both sides, because obviously we need to have this equation equal to 0. 54 minus 15x plus x squared. So I'm going to kind of write this in a friendlier way. and factor it. Two numbers that multiply to give 54 and add to give negative 16. X minus 9, x minus 6 is equal to 0. So x is equal to positive 9 and x is equal to positive 6. And this is where it becomes important to check your answers, okay? So I'm going to check my answers. Check. So first I'm going to take x is equal to 9. I've got the square root of 10 minus 9 plus 9 is equal to 8. So the square root of 1 is 1. So this is 1 plus 9 is equal to 8. So this 10 is equal to 8. So this solution is no good. Okay, no good. So then I'm going to check my second solution. X is equal to 6. Square root of 10 minus 6 plus 6 is equal to 8. The square root of 4 plus 6 is equal to 8. So 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. So 8 is equal to 8. So this solution is good. So there's only one solution here. X is equal to 6. Cube root of 3x plus 1 minus 6 is, so it is, minus 6 is equal to negative 5. Add 6 to both sides, we get the cube root of 3x plus 1 is equal to 1. Then raise both sides to the power 3. 3x plus 1 is equal to 1 cubed is equal to 1. Take away 1 from both sides, we get 3x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. Check. Substitute 0, the cube root of 3 times 0 plus 1 minus 6 is equal to negative 5. So the cube root of 1 minus 6 is equal to negative 5. 1 is a nice number. Cube root, square root, square, cubed, it's still equal to 1. So negative 5 is equal to negative 5. So this is a great answer. We're good with it. Square root of 2x plus 9 is equal to square root of x plus 7. In this case, we cannot isolate the radicals, but both sides are square roots, so we can go ahead and raise both sides to the power 2. To remove the radical signs on both sides, we get 2x plus 9 is equal to x plus 7. And solving here, we take away x from both sides to give x plus 9 is equal to 7. Then take away 9 from both sides to give x is equal to negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and check my answer. 2 times negative 2 plus 9. I'm substituting back in the original equation, by the way. Plus 7 This gives me -4 plus 9 is equal to square root of 5. And then we get square root of 5 is equal to square root of 5. So left hand side equals to right hand side. So this answer here is a good answer. Cube root of 6 plus 10x is equal to the cube root of -9 plus 5x. Take the cube root, raise both sides to the power 3, since this is a cube root, in order to get rid of the radical. And that makes the radical go away. So we've got 6 plus 10x is equal to -9 plus 5x. So we're going to try to isolate the radical here. Isolate the variable here. So -5x minus 5x. That gives me 6 plus 5x is equal to -9. Then take away 6 from both sides. We get 5x is equal to -15. X is equal to -3. Conducting the check here by substituting, we have cube root of 6 plus 10 times -3 is equal to the cube root of -9 plus 5 times -3. So this is the cube root of -24 is equal to 15 plus 9, the cube root of -24. So clearly the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side, which means our answer is a great answer. All right, so there are two word problems in this section that I also want to discuss. Let me see if I can go ahead and copy and paste it over. Okay, this is right here, this problem. So I'm going to place it over here. There we go. The police used the formula V is equal to 20 square root of 20L to estimate the speed of a car V in miles per hour based on the length in feet of its skid marks when suddenly braking on a dry asphalt road. At the scene of the accident, the police officers' car skid marks to be 188 feet long. Approximately how fast was the car traveling? So they're giving us the length L here is equal to 188. And you would simply remember that V is given as the speed of the car. So V is equal to the square root of 20 times 188, or multiply it times 188. You would go to your calculator. So 20 times 188 is 3760. Take the square root of that number. And we get that this car was traveling approximately, they specified here to round your answer to 1 decimal place. So this is approximately 61.3 miles per hour. So you can see this person saying, officer, I was only driving at 40 miles an hour. And the officer is going, well, based on the skid mark, the length of the skid mark, the road's dry, it's asphalt, we figure out you were driving around 60 miles an hour. Clearly, that person would lose their argument with this. Let's consider another problem here. One more of these. There we go. I'm going to snip this problem. Paste it in here. The formula V is equal to square root of 2.6 R models the maximum safe speed V in miles per hour, at which a car can travel on a curved road with a radius of curvature R in feet. A highway crew measures curvature at an exit ramp on a highway as 670 feet. What is the maximum safe speed? So what's happening here is, for example, if you have to take an exit off of the expressway, you'll see little signs posted that said maximum exit speed 35 miles an hour. Or you're trying to get onto an exit, you might see maximum exits or maximum entrance is maybe 40 miles an hour, that you're not supposed to exceed that. And those are mathematically calculated numbers to determine how safe it is for the average car to go around, how fast the average car can go around there without being in trouble and running off the road. So in this case, we've got V is equal to square root of 2.6 R. And here we're given R, the radius of curvature, is equal to 670. So you would put 2.6 times 670 calculator. Which is the square root of 1742. And they specified here to give the answer down to the nearest whole number, down to the nearest, not up. So let me just check and see that the answer I have here is 41. Yes, that's correct. This comes out to approximately 41.7. But if we approximate it down, it'll become 41, not 42, because they want us to approximate it down. So 41 miles per hour. And that makes sense because this type of rounding is very appropriate, because you obviously want to go down to a slower speed instead of up to a higher speed in this case, it's better to err on the side of a lower speed. In fact, what I think would happen here is that the the ramp might say 35 miles an hour, not 40 miles an hour, to make life a little easier for people taking that ramp.